Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Well, Jimmy in Boston is all excited because we have another episode of Marie Wilson's My Friend Irma. This episode was originally broadcast July 14th, 1947, and Irma is under the weather.
The Columbia Broadcasting System presents a new comedy.
My Friend Irma.
Starring Marie Wilson as Irma and Kathy Lewis as Jane, with John Brown as Al and Leif Erikson as Richard.
Friendship, friendship, just a perfect blendship. When other friendships have been forgot, theirs will still be hot. My friend Irma.
They say that knowledge is like the strong bow of a sturdy ship. That's true. I live with the wreck of the Hesperus. My friend Irma. Let me describe her to you. She's 5'2" with blonde hair and brown eyes, pretty little nose. Likes to wear low heels because they go so well with her IQ. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Irma. She's sweet and she's kind and... There are times when, well, for instance, the other night we just finished dinner and I said, Irma, why are you bringing that bag of garbage back into the apartment? And Irma said,
well, they don't collect it until morning and I don't want anybody to steal it.
You see what I mean? It's nothing to laugh at. Could happen to you. But it happened to me. Right now, for instance, I've got another problem. Irma is a bit of a hypochondriac. Right now, she thinks she's sick. She's lying stretched out on the sofa with an ice bag on her head and a hot water bottle at her feet. Irma doesn't know what she has, but whatever it is, she's going to stop it at both ends. Irma, honey, what do you think is wrong with you now?
Oh, Jane, I don't know, but when I woke up this morning, my arm was stiff.
Well, so what, honey? You probably slept on it and fell asleep.
Is that normal? One arm asleep, the other raring to go? No, Jane. I've got symptoms.
Oh, Irma Peterson, will you stop this nonsense? There's nothing wrong with you. You're as well as I am.
Oh, you'll regret those words when you have to bury a healthy woman.
Irma, you're ridiculous. You're laughable.
Yes? Well, they laughed at Thomas Edison, and he's dead.
Honey, what makes you so sure that you're sick?
Well, I'm breaking out in a cold sweat, and I see spots in front of my eyes.
Irma, the ice bag is leaking, and your mascara is running.
Well, don't try to make me feel good when I know I'm dying. Now, let me see. What shall I wear?
Wear? What are you talking about?
Well, Jane, I want to look nice when my time comes. I think I'll wear an evening gown. No, on second thought, I don't want to go formal.
Come in. Oh, hello, Richard.
Hello, Jane. Say, Irma, what's the matter with you?
Oh, Richard, I've no strength. My vitality feels like a sap.
Well, don't bother with Irma, Richard. She's got another one of her imaginary ailments.
Which one?
I don't know. We've run out of names.
Jane, you're not trying.
Jane, I've got some good news for you. We've hired a new branch manager at our Chicago office, and the company wants you to go there to familiarize him with our procedure.
Me? Mm-hmm. To Chicago? Oh, that's wonderful. Irma, did you hear?
Oh, yes, Jane, you're going to Chicago. Oh, how lucky for you. You'll see the stockyards and the Eiffel and the Eiffel Tower.
That's in Paris.
The stockyards?
No, the Eiffel Tower. Oh, what's the difference? Richard, when do I leave?
Tomorrow morning. Now, you get a plane out of here at 5 o'clock at LaGuardia Airport. Yeah. And all the arrangements have been made for you.
Oh, gee. Richard, you're the nicest boss a girl ever had. I hope I'll handle it all right.
You'll do a wonderful job, Jane.
That's because you're sweet. And prejudiced.
Oh, goodbye, and have a pleasant trip. Goodbye, Irma. Keep well. Stay as sick as you are.
Oh, thanks. Gee, Jane, you're going to Chicago and you won't be here to take care of me. I'll have to call up Chicago to see what my temperature is.
Irma, will you stop this nonsense? You know, if I thought for 1 minute that you were really sick, I'd cancel my trip and I'd stay home and nurse you back to health. But I will not put up with a hypochondriac. It's all in your mind.
Well, Jane, go if you wish. Far be it from me to stop you. But when you come back and find an empty chair, I won't be in it.
How will I know? Now listen to me. Will you help me pack and stop this death scene from Camille? You're perfectly healthy, honey, and if you get lonely, there's always Al. Dear old unemployed Al.
Jane, please don't mention Al. You see, Al and I could never be married now. I'm not well, and Al has principles. He would never allow himself to be supported by a sick woman. That must be the Grim Reaper calling for me.
Oh, stop. Come in.
Hiya, chicken.
It's not the Reaper, but believe me, it's pretty grim.
Hey, take it easy on me, Janie. It's been a murderous day.
Gee, what happened, Al, honey?
Got called down by the income tax people. Something wrong with my return.
Well, that's ridiculous. You haven't had a steady job for years.
Yeah, well, they're not quibbling about the income. It's the deductions. They want to know about that buck I gave to the Democratic Committee.
Oh, well, what about it?
I put President Truman down as a dependent. Hey, chicken, what are you doing squandering money? Every time I see you, you got a new hat on.
Al, this is an ice bag.
Honey, you ain't sick, are you?
No, Al, no. Irma's not sick. She just thinks she is. But I haven't got the time to pamper her. I'm leaving tomorrow morning for Chicago.
Chicago?
Uh-huh.
Wonderful city.
Yeah.
Used to have a pal there. He was a night worker at the stockyards. But he got fired.
Why?
Used to count sheep and fall asleep. You look him up, will you? Great feller. All wool and a yard wide.
Yeah. Fine. I'll have him up for tea. Al, will you please get Irma to stop acting like a child? I've got to go out and buy some luggage. I'll be seeing you.
Al,
What, chicken?
I think I'm dying. I've stopped breathing.
Chicken, the ice bag just slipped over your nose. There's nothing wrong with you. It's all in your mind.
All in my mind?
Why, certainly, honey. The mind is very tricky, you know. Let me describe the human brain to you. The brain is located midway between your head. And it's tied at both ends by the ears. This is known as the Erie Canal. Now, your entire brain is protected by a milky fluid. And when too much of this collects in one place, you lose your memory.
Oh, yes, I've heard of that. It's called milk of amnesia.
Oh, come in.
It's only me, Professor Kropotkin. Hello, Al. Irma, my little anchovy, what's wrong with you?
Irma thinks she's sick.
Sick? Got just the doctor. Dr. Varenyeke. What a man. Keeps me in pink of condition, healthy like an ox. Don't know what I do without him.
Well, if he's so good, why are you so skinny?
I gotta work like a horse to pay his bills. Tell me, Irma, what's wrong with you?
Well, I don't feel right. I think I should have a doctor.
Professor, you got to help me convince Irma that she's well and that it's all in her mind.
Certainly. Irma, don't be a child. Forget that you're sick. Think of pleasant things. Think of this lovely room. No. Think of the fine, handsome, successful boyfriend. No. You know something? There's nothing pleasant in your life. Goodbye. Already I'm very depressed.
Gee, Al, don't think I'm putting this on. I realize there's nothing like sickness to ruin a person's health.
Chicken, you're not sick. Now repeat after me. It's all in my mind.
It's all in my mind.
Again. It's all in my mind.
It's all in my mind.
You got it?
Yeah, Al, except for one thing.
What's that?
What's all in my mind?
Chicken, will you forget it? You're not sick. Now, come on, see me to the door and give me a big kiss, huh? Chicken, when you kiss me, why do you close your eyes?
I like to guess who it is.
Glad to see you feeling better. Well, remember now, it's all in your mind. Goodbye.
Bye. Goodbye, Al, honey. Gee, I'm glad I've got something on my mind. I used to be so lonely. Well, I think I'll open the window for some air. Hi, Irma. Hello, Merwin. What are you doing sitting on the fire escape all alone?
I got the measles.
The measles? Oh, don't be silly. It's all in your mind. Come up here and tell me all about it.
Well, I finished all my shopping, and I'm all set to go to Chicago. Gee. I'm going to miss Irma. I'd like to take her along, but I can't. Chicago's the windy city, and every time the wind whistles, Irma will call a cop and say that someone's getting fresh. But thank goodness I know she's not sick, and nothing can happen to her and spoil my trip.
Oh, Merwin, you're so silly. What makes you think you've got the measles?
Well, what are all these red spots on my face?
Well, it could be anything. Maybe you were eating Swiss cheese in the sun.
Look, Irma, it's my body, and besides, my old man's a doctor.
So what? Doctors aren't inflammable.
Would you start over again, Irma? You lost me.
Well, all right. I'll explain it to you because you're a child. You see, Merwin, your brain is covered with a milky substance which comes from the Erie Canal.
I gotta straighten you out, Irma. You're in left field, believe me. I have measles, which is an infectious malady characterized by the appearance of a peculiar eruption and catarrh of the head. A 2-week period of incubation is followed by chills, fever, and dusky red eruptions in the form of crescentic groups.
Is that the way to talk to your elders?
Hello, Irma.
Jane, you know Merwin.
Yeah, sure. Tell me, honey, how do you feel?
Oh, I feel fine, but Merwin here thinks he has measles. Tell him it's all in his mind.
What? Oh. No. No. No.
See, Merwin, Jane says no. No. No, you haven't got measles.
Irma.
What, Jane?
Can't you see Merwin has got the measles?
Jane, you forget your own words. It's only in his mind, except on him a little leaked out.
Oh, we wonder what else leaked out of Irma's mind. Marie Wilson, My Friend Irma, from July 14th, 1947. Is Irma going to get the measles? We'll find out in a few minutes here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. A case of the measles, say it ain't so. Marie Wilson, My Friend Irma, July 14th, 1947.
Well, everything is just peachy. Just before I'm to leave for Chicago, Irma decides to play hostess to a boy with measles. Oh, that's what I love about Irma. She never goes out looking for trouble. She brings it right into the house. So I called Dr. Miller and I explained the situation to him, and he told me not to worry. He didn't know whether I'd gotten the measles or not. The main thing was to get a good night's rest. So I took his advice, tumbled into bed, and was prepared to drop off into dreamland. When I suddenly heard a voice from the opposite bed saying,
Jane.
I turned around, and there was Irma sitting up in bed, cutting little round pieces of adhesive.
Jane.
Irma, what are you going to do with all that stuff?
Well, in case I get the measles, I'll cover the spots with them, then no one will know I'm sick. They'll just think I cut myself while shaving.
Look, honey, I've got to get a good night's sleep. Please go to bed and drop off into slumber. Oh, Mother. Hello? Al? Yeah, she's here. Irma, talk to him and make it fast, huh?
Hello, Al, honey. Oh, we've been exposed to measles. Know a good doctor? Uh-huh. Well, I'll ask Jane. Jane, Al knows a vet.
A vet? Well, don't be ridiculous.
But, Jane, I think we should give our business to a war hero.
Irma, hang up.
All right. Al, I'm sorry, honey. I can't give you a kiss. Measles are contagious.
Will you hang up and let's get some sleep?
Goodbye, Al. Jane.
What is it now?
Do you mind if I say my prayers?
Oh, no, of course not, honey.
Now I lay me down to bed, to rest my weary little head. I trust you've heard each word I've said. Make us better or we'll wake up dead.
Oh, well. That's very sweet, Irma.
Oh, wait, P.S. Please get Al a job.
Yeah, all right. Good night, honey.
Good night. Jane. Bloop, bleep, bleep, bloop.
Irma, what are you blooping about?
Well, the water's dripping in the basin. I can't sleep.
Well, you used it last. You shut it off.
I'm too tired to get out of bed.
Yeah. Well, just dream you're at Niagara Falls and it won't bother you.
All right. Oh, Jane.
Did you try dreaming about Niagara Falls?
Yes, I did. We got a room at a hotel, but the water dripped and I couldn't sleep.
All right. I'll shut it off. Good night.
Jane.
Irma, what is it now?
I can't sleep with the window open.
Well, I can't sleep with the window closed. Good night.
Jane. Jane, are you asleep?
Irma. Irma, are you asleep?
Jane. Jane, are you asleep?
Irma? Irma, are you asleep?
Yes, but you can open the window. It's your turn.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night.
I will go out of my mind. Hello. What? What program am I listening to? Widow Brown Faces Life. It doesn't go on till Wednesday? I'll wait. Goodbye. Oh, if I don't get some sleep.
What was that?
Mr. Hogan upstairs just got home. Probably tight again.
Yes, there goes his shoe.
Yeah, there goes the other. We can't have 3 feet.
Oh, I wonder what it was.
I think he struck Mrs. Hogan.
I think she struck back.
Well, it's quiet again, but what difference does it make now? My head is just splitting.
Oh, I'll get it. Hello? Oh, Jane, it's Richard.
Oh, dear, no. I don't want him to know I may have the measles, and yet I couldn't lie to him. You talk to him, honey. Tell him anything. I'm taking a bath, or I ran down to the drugstore.
Hello, Richard. Well, Jane isn't here. She ran down to the drugstore to take a bath.
No, I just went downstairs to leave a note in the bottle for the milkman so he'll know I'm in Chicago.
Oh, Jane went downstairs to get a bottle because she's going to Chicago with the milkman.
Hold it, honey.
Hold it, honey.
Oh, no. Give me the phone, will you? Hello, Richard. Richard, I'm sorry. It's just that I'm so upset. Why'd you call me so late? The weather looks bad and you'd rather I took the train? Oh, well, why, Richard? Huh? Because you love me? Oh, Richard, that's just... No, I'm all right. It's just that I just want to get some sleep. Goodbye, Richard.
You want an aspirin, Jane?
No, I'll be all right. I just want to get some sleep.
Would you care for a peanut butter sandwich?
No.
With jelly?
No! Irma Peterson, I beg of you, keep quiet.
Jane, Are you angry at me?
Well, how could I not be? You bring a kid up here who has the measles. You know I have to leave for Chicago in the morning. You know I need a good night's rest. Maybe I ought to go to a hotel.
That's a good idea. I'll go with you.
You'll do nothing of the sort. Oh, Father. Who is it?
Me, Professor Krapat.
Oh, well, will you wait till we put some robes on?
July 14th, 1947, My Friend Irma on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion next.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to Medishare for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And Medishare's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. Medishare is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it, find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of My Friend Irma, starring Marie Wilson, A Case of the Measles in the House, July 14th, 1947.
All right, you can come in.
Hello, girls. I'm sorry to disturb you at such a late hour, but I met Al. He said you may be sick.
Well, I think we're getting the measles.
So what are you worried about? Measles is nothing. Just freckles with high blood pressure. And how do you know you got it?
Well, we've been exposed to it.
So what? Al has walked past employment offices for 6 years. He still hasn't got a job.
No, Professor, I'm sure I'm getting measles.
Oh, Professor, tell her it's all in her mind. Janie's turning out to be a real hypodermic.
Irma, don't needle me. I'm not the type of person who imagines things. Why are my feet cold?
You're standing on my ice bag.
Oh. Don't be ridiculous. I know symptoms. I'm pretty sure I've got the measles.
Listen to me, Janie. You're babying yourself. That I can't stand. You've got to have discipline. Look at me. I got chills, too. I got terrible headache. I got a pain in my back. You know something, girls? You're talking to a very sick man. I'll go to bed immediately. Good night.
Irma, there's only one thing to do. It's the only decent thing to do. I've got to call Richard and explain this whole thing. Hello, Richard. Jane. Richard, I can't go to Chicago. I'm getting the measles. Don't you dare say it's in my mind. Richard, please, you're not talking to Irma. I don't imagine things. Well, goodbye, Richard. Here's a kiss for good luck.
Oh, Jane, don't kiss him. You know, measles are contagious. Just shake hands with him.
Yeah, I'll do that. Good night, Richard. Oh, Irma, I better get into bed. Where's the rubbing alcohol?
I loaned it to Al. He's entertaining friends.
Oh, come in.
Hello, Dr. Miller.
Hello, girls. I just got back from the hospital. I want to apologize for not being able to see you sooner.
Oh, well, Doctor, it's much too late. You see, I caught the measles from Merwin.
That's what I wanted to tell you. Merwin is a hypochondriac. He has a strawberry rash, so he calls it measles.
Only a strawberry rash?
Yes.
Oh, Irma, I feel like such a fool. Everything I said about you is true about me.
Yes, only I'm younger.
Yeah. Well, I've got to call up Richard and tell him I can go to Chicago after all.
I don't understand.
You see, Doctor, I told Jane it's all in her mind. Just like this morning, when I felt sick, they convinced me it was all in my mind.
You were sick this morning?
Yes, but it was only my imagination.
Hello, Richard. Richard, I just called to tell you I have some wonderful news.
Hold it, Jane.
What is it, Doctor?
I just took a look at Irma. She's got the measles.
Richard? Oh, the wonderful news? See you in 2 weeks.
This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Yes, even my friend Irma got we're a little late, folks, treatment sometimes. From July 14th, 1947, Marie Wilson and my friend Irma. Of course, Jimmy in Boston would get the measles just to be with Marie Wilson, but that's another story. You're listening to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. An episode of Claudia comes up next right here on your favorite radio station. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of the soap opera Claudia. This episode of Claudia was originally broadcast on July 14th, 1948. Isn't it a little young to be walking? Babies don't walk this early, do they?
Your Coca-Cola bottler presents Claudia, based on the famous play and novels by Rose Franken. Brought to you transcribed Monday through Friday by your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. Relax, and while you're listening, refresh yourself. Have a Coke. And now, Claudia.
Don't you think you've been up enough today, Claudia?
I'm only trying to get used to it, Mama.
Get used to it lying down. You won't be so tired.
Mama, are you going to worry about me forever?
I certainly am.
I am a mother now.
You've only been a mother for 1 week and 2 days, and you've been my daughter for 19 years.
So long.
I shall worry about you for as long as I please.
I suppose I can't deprive you of your few pleasures in life, Mama.
Then get back into bed.
All right. Go away from me. Now skit, scat, scoot. I have to learn to navigate by myself again. Now, doing very nicely. Oh, now why do they make these hospital beds so high? They're so hard to get in and out of.
That is why.
Oh, Mama, how long am I going to droop around like this? I thought that after I had the baby, I'd start feeling like me again. Instead, I hang around my neck like an old suit of clothes.
It'll be at least a month before you're...
A month?
At least.
Oh, such a business. There ought to be a better method.
The world has been waiting for you to discover it.
David can't stand sissy women.
Can't he? I think he can't stand women who overdo. Worse. Besides, no man I've ever met, not even David, has minded being let know he's the stronger.
David knows. What time is it, Mama?
Hello, everybody. Hello. Well, how's the little family today?
Just wondering when you get here. Hello, Hercules.
She's feeling good today.
Oh, darling, you look so warm.
It's only 90 out.
Only 90? Here, let me wipe your forehead.
Now, let go. I'm not your son, remember? I'm a big boy.
Oh,
so you are. Claudia?
See what?
None of your business.
All right. See if I care. How are you feeling, Mrs. Norton?
Fine, wonderful, superb, blissful.
She really all right, Mother?
She's talking a lot. I think she's getting her strength back.
Oh, that's no sign. But if you are feeling all right, what are you doing in bed? I thought I'd find you dancing a jig in the hall.
Oh, Mama insisted I get back into bed. Besides, I'm coming home tomorrow, so I must feel all right. Don't you think I do?
There's no need to rush things now.
I don't think you want me home.
You're 100% right. I don't want you home if you're hurrying things. If you feel like a mouse, don't pretend to me that you're Atlas.
Now he's calling me names. David, I can lie around in bed at Mama's just as well as here.
Oh, you ought to be flattered, Grandma. She prefers your apartment to this swank hospital.
But only, mind you, because it's cheaper.
I married a budget.
A fine budget. Nobody lets me budge. Oh.
Blue is right.
Now, Mama, listen, let's get organized.
Let's get organized.
Is everything all ready for my son's and my homecoming?
Well, what do you call everything?
A red carpet and a 10-piece band, Mama.
Exactly.
Oh, I must write that down. I clean forgot about the band, but everything else is there, I think.
Such as?
Well, all the bottles and the sterilizer, the bassinet, literally hundreds of diapers and safety pins and baby oil. Must you hear the whole list?
I must. Is the baby carriage there yet? It better be there by tomorrow. The baby won't have anything to sleep in.
Well, let him sleep in the sink.
If he were a fish, that would be perfect. But he isn't, unfortunately.
When was the carriage supposed to get there?
Didn't Julia tell you, Claudia?
She only said it was being sent.
These days, there's no telling when they'll deliver it.
How soon before the baby can sleep in a bed?
Without pampering, darling, in about, 4 years.
Well, that puts quite a new light on the matter. I guess we'll have to get the baby carriage home,
I'll call up the store and act firm.
Firm.
I'll make them deliver it today.
You do that.
That would be very effective. Oh, very.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, then somebody's got to go and get it.
and I'm in bed.
Well, I won't do it.
Oh, no, I wouldn't think of having you put yourself. Why, after all, he's only your son.
I'm drafted. I'll do it.
You can't carry a baby carriage.
Baby carriages are not carried, ignorant. They're pushed.
And I pushed one long before you were born, David.
You must have still been in short pants, Mother.
Very short, three-cornered.
Any excuse to get out of here. I'm going to fetch that carriage.
Oh, isn't she sweet, David? She loves to pretend she doesn't care a bit for her grandson. Look at her, rushing off to the store for him. Can't wait.
You have shamed me, Mother. How would you like company? Nobody expects me to get any work done these days anyway.
Don't use me as an excuse for your fatherly sentiments.
You two women. Well, I'm certainly grateful we had a son. It'll be a pleasure not to be the only man in the family.
If you turn that boy against me...
I'm beginning my campaign now. Mama and I are going down to that department store, and we're going to pick up that perambulator, and we're going to take it home. And the first thing tomorrow, I'm going to tell my son he has his father to thank for the bed that he lies in. Well, Mother, I think you look very handsome in that gray hat, pushing this gray perambulator. Yes, I must say that whole ensemble is very definitely becoming to you.
Hush up with your flattery. It's quite an improved piece of machinery, isn't it,
It's
David?
terrific.
Brakes, pedals, and gears. It's almost like driving a car.
Does it push easily?
As smooth as silk, and not a bit of noise.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to try it?
Me? Going down the street pushing this thing?
You'd
No.
better get used to it.
It's not man's work.
It's father's work.
Life is just one big trap. I started out to be an architect, and I end up pushing a perambulator.
And that's one of the nicer things about life. Go on, push it a little.
Well, only if you're getting tired.
Oh, yes, I'm getting tired, very tired, exhausted. I can't push another
All
step.
right. You don't have to put on such a big act. I'll take it. Hey, it does work easily, doesn't it? Of course, it's light now. There isn't a baby in it.
Oh, 8 pounds will make an awful difference.
I feel like a battleship on a shakedown cruise.
A very handsome battleship. You actually look as if you were pushing your son in this carriage.
The funny part is I feel as if I were.
Look, David. Look at the smiles on the people's faces as they walk by you. Look at that little old lady.
Oh, nonsense. Nobody even notices people push baby carriages around all the time.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Here she comes.
Pardon me, but would you be terribly embarrassed if an old lady wanted to congratulate you?
Well, no, not at all.
There are so few fathers these days who will take their children out for a stroll. I think it's just lovely of you.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh, he must be so cute and so small.
He is.
So small you'd hardly see him.
Oh, I would just adore to have a little look. Just one little look.
Of course you would.
But I wouldn't if I were you. He'll wake up, won't he, Mother?
Will he? I don't think so.
Mother,
What is it, David?
if you say another word.
Oh, was I being too forward?
No, of course not.
Then...
But any other day, Madam.
My son-in-law, you see, is such a new father, so nervous yet.
Oh, I should think you would have been pleased.
Oh, David, you naughty boy.
Me naughty?
You disillusioned her. She wanted to see your son.
I'll get even with you, Mother. Now, you wait and see egging her on like
It's a shame we didn't have a baby to show her. David, wait for the light. You want to get your son run over?
Uh-oh.
Well, all right. You can be pushing that pram across now. I've held up the traffic for you.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
Oh, don't be thanking me, lady. I get 7 of my own, and I know how the little woman feels when I take them out and she ain't along. Thinks a man just can't maneuver safely. Here, I'll walk across with you.
Well, we're very grateful. A little embarrassed.
Not at all. We men gotta stick together. Hey, more gentler there, man. You want to wake him up?
He's right, David. More gentler.
Yes, Grandma.
And careful on the curb over there, man. You don't want to shake him up.
I'm just trying to get the hang of this.
You got to learn to handle him more gentle.
Yes, sir.
All right, here you are, safe across.
Thanks again.
Don't mention it. Glad to help out.
Sweet, wasn't he?
Like Gargantua.
Never underestimate the power of a child, David.
But this one's getting to be a nuisance already. if one more person stops us.
David, more gentler. Don't tip the canoe.
I see. The object is to let it come down on an even keel.
Try this curb again.
All right.
It's a good time to practice without wrecking your son.
I've got to try to get the wheels over the curb more easily.
Right. I don't think the baby would want to stand on his head too much.
Well, not the first few months, anyway. Well, up we go. Now, here we go. Uh-oh. Too much of an angle.
Try going down the curb now that you're up it.
It looks so simple.
Oh, you'll catch on. Just let the back wheels slide over the edge and then let it down all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say anything, but we are being watched. That woman.
Let her watch. Maybe she's taking a field course in perambulating. If this were a tractor, I wouldn't be having so much trouble.
The trick is to pull the carriage back as you let it down.
I think I see.
Slower, David, slower. Easy. Don't wake him.
Excuse me. I've been watching you for the last 2 minutes and...
Maybe you have a few tricks of this trade, too. They'd be very welcome.
What I wanted to say was, are you aware that your carriage is empty?
What did you say?
The carriage is empty. There's no baby in it.
There isn't.
No.
She's right, Mother. The carriage is empty.
You don't say.
Oh, take a look, Mother.
Well, what do you know about that?
I don't think you realize what this means.
Certainly we do. We must have mislaid the baby someplace.
Perhaps he's been kidnapped.
No, I don't think so. Do you, Mother?
I don't think anybody wants him any more than we do. Do you, David?
No, I doubt it. Somehow you must have left him someplace, Mother.
I wonder if it was the A&P.
The A&P. Now, seriously, Mother. Now, this is the last time, the very last time that I'm going to let you take this baby out alone. Do you understand?
Well, my dear, you're perfectly justified.
Of course, I know we could get another, but it wouldn't be the same.
Pardon me, but aren't you going to do anything?
Certainly we are, but we're trying to think of where we left him.
The shoemaker's.
No, I don't think so, no.
The butcher?
I hope not. Such a fat little baby. Do you have any ideas, madam?
No. No, I haven't.
That's a shame.
He really might have been kidnapped.
Oh, no. I assure you he wasn't. I think it was the butcher's.
Well, I'd hate to walk all the way back there if it isn't.
So would I. Let's think some more.
Well, don't suppose you need me.
What do you think, Mother?
You've been very kind.
Oh, don't mention it. Please don't. Almost a bit sorry I mentioned it. A&P, the shoemakers, the butchers.
Some people, Grandma is crazy.
Them people, David, is us. Now, home, Jeeves, with the babyless carriage.
The endless search for fabrics, linens, clothing, and food for the family makes shopping somewhat tiring at times. That's why I repeat a suggestion that many women find both sensible and pleasant. When you see the friendly sign that says, "Here's Coca-Cola," stop there and refresh yourself. You're apt to buy more wisely when you shop refreshed.
Well, we finally arrived home, Mr. King, safe and sound.
With or without baby, Mrs. Brown?
Without, of course. You know he's still in the hospital.
Yes, I know it. But the way you and David acted, the woman in the street would never know it.
Perhaps we should have told her.
Or maybe you'll run into her again. Maybe you'll meet her when you do have the baby in the carriage.
I hope so. Poor woman. She must think we're mad. Perhaps we are in our gay moments.
Oh, Miss Brown, are Claudia and the baby really going home to you tomorrow?
Indeed, yes. And anxious as I am to have them, I'm not looking forward to the process of the move.
You mean packing Claudia's presents and so forth?
Exactly. I'd better be getting my strings and wrapping paper right now while I think of it. See you tomorrow, Mr. King.
All right. Goodbye, Mrs. Brown. Every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere. This broadcast of Claudia was supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney. And now, here's a word from your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola.
Don't look at me, I do Dr. Pepper. From July 14th, 1948, Claudia here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
This is Groucho Marx. A few days ago, I was talking with the Director of Civil Defense, and he told me some things that I feel everyone should know. That's why I'm speaking to you now. Did you know, for example, that your chances of surviving an atom bomb attack are excellent? It's true, but there's a big if. You must do everything possible now to help yourself and your family. Nobody else will help you. Listen, because this is important. Keep a complete first aid kit handy. Keep a closed container of drinking water in your refrigerator, enough for 3 days. Be sure you have a good fire extinguisher. Take a look around your house right now and pick out the safest spot, away from windows and doors. Make sure that every member of your family understands he is to rush to that safe spot when there's danger. I'm convinced that these precautions are necessary right now, and I hope I can convince you. They're important to your family, yourself, and your community.
Preparation is absolutely important, not just for atomic war, but also for natural disasters as well. Thank you for tuning in here to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. And do me a favor, thank this station, support their advertisers. Their kindness and courtesy allows us to be with you each and every time you roll around here on your favorite station. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. Just go to my webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand, learn more about classic radio collecting, learn all the places that our shows are available to download. You can also find our social media links, Facebook and Twitter, and you can also contact me. And if you're nice and you got a couple of bucks, you can buy me a coffee. And that would always be appreciated. Every penny of that goes back to help us build our library for more great classic radio shows. Thank you for tuning in, and tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.